Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. It is absolutely no wonder that Scotland is falling apart at the seams when you consider the calibre of the people in the SNP that are allegedly the people in charge of Scotland. We all know it's the Greens, and they're even worse. But the calibre itself is very low, as we know. We're surrounded by morons, left, right and centre. And none so than Allan Dornans. He is an SNP MP at Westminster. He has made a claim that is laughably wrong, given his party's sort of recent history with the gender reform bill. You'd think that this would be something they knew about, but apparently not. It's very, very difficult for them to understand this concept. Allan Dornans himself is an ex-policeman, someone who you thought would have a passing resemblance of any kind of knowledge of the law, but apparently not. He couldn't have been a very good policeman. He's certainly not a very good MP. We'll take a look at this and see why he is so embarrassed by it that when questioned, he's completely ignoring it because he knows he got it wrong. But like so many in the SNP, they can never admit when they're wrong. Here goes. So, embarrassing blunder as the SNP MP wrongly claims that the equality laws are devolved. And he's talking about the Equality Act 2010, which I advise everyone to read. It has got a load of get-out clauses. My favourite one is my philosophical belief. That is a protected characteristic under British law. And as long as you fervently believe in something, then you cannot be, discriminated against on the basis of your firm philosophical belief. And I philosophically believe this, and I philosophically believe that, and so forth. And therefore I'm protected under the very law they brought in to make sure that people are protected. And it's marvellous. It's they don't like it. All these people don't like it. Oh, how dare you use the 2010 Equality Act to be equal. Anyway, Allan Dornans, MP for Ayr, is under fire for making a sweeping statement about equality law, and lawyers and campaigners have jumped in to correct him. And here's the picture of an idiot, as you know. And there he is, and he's sitting there, and that's his official portrait, Westminster portrait. So we all know now what a moron looks like. Although we've got a lot of experience, we know lots of morons, don't we? Anyway, the equality law devolved to the Scottish Government, says an SNP MP who seems to be unaware that the controversy surrounding his party's gender bill is based on the fact that it is not. Well, not entirely. In fact, 99% of it isn't. Allan Dornans, the representative for Ayr, Carrick and Cumnock, appears to have made the claim in response to an email alerting him to a debate on the Equality Act 2010. The UK government is set to toughen up protections for biological sex amid ongoing confusion about self-ID for those identifying as trans. Basically, what they're going to do is when this law was being proposed and brought in, they made provisions for male and female. What they didn't do is define in law what male and female are, and they're doing provisional changes to the bill, the amendment to the bill, to enshrine within law that the Gender Bill 2010, the Equality Act 2010, when referring to male and female, refers specifically and exclusively to biological sex, not what people feel that they want to be today. It is their biological sex that is the basis of the law. And there's a lot of people, but not that many, but there's a lot of loud people going, no, this is discriminatory, blah, blah, blah. And they can be safely ignored because they number so very few. 99% of people, if not more, want this law to be clarified and for it to mean biological sex. And it removes a lot of confusion. So anyway, this was up there. They're having this debate. He's got this. And then he went, hang on a minute, equality, that was handed to Scotland. No, it really, really wasn't, because it was never a Scottish law. Mr. Dornans, who is also the Nat spokesman for crime and policing, him being an ex-policeman, he knows a lot about policing, and him being in the SNP will know a lot about crime. He has been told that he should know the bare minimum as it relates to a major policy for the SNP, the Gender Recognition Reform Bill. The hotly debated GRR bill has been vetoed by UK government ministers on the basis that it adversely impacts the rights guaranteed by the UK government, who are the only body able to amend the reserved equality laws, because it is their law. The 2010 Act came from Westminster. He said, Mr. Dornans said, that equality law has been devolved since 1998. This is a lie. Only some aspects of the equality law are devolved, with the Scotland Act 1998 only giving the Scottish Parliament the power to encourage equal opportunities. It does not give them any power to amend or overwrite the 2010 Act. And they know that, or at least he doesn't, but they should know that. He doesn't, because he's an idiot. And then so here's what he did. So For Women Scotland, a campaign group, friends of the channel, we've done for them. We're always on their side. Support them as they fight for the protection of women, biological women. They wrote to him and informed him of this act and things like this conversation, and he's responded to them. But anyway, he said, "Thank you for sharing with me the info of sexmatters.org campaign letter regarding the Westminster Hall debate on the clarity of the Equality Act on Monday the 12th of June. Regrettably, I'm unable to attend this due to a prior constituency commitment. However, as you may be aware from the recent and quite intensive media coverage of votes and resignations in the Scottish Parliament, the implementation of the gender recognition legislation is devolved to Scotland. Similarly, equality law has been devolved since 1998, he claims. Consequently, you should wish to pursue this matter as it applies in Scotland, and you may wish to write to your MSP, Siobhan Brown, and gives address. Kind regards, Alan." Okay, so For Women Scotland get this, and then they, poof, out the door they go, straight up onto Twitter, and they put, "As a bare minimum, it would be nice if MPs could understand the difference between reserved and devolved matters. No, Allan Dornans MP, equality law is not devolved, and you should know that." And so basically they've called him to bang to rights on it. Anyway, it is the instance referenced in the email, and the SNP wanted to change key elements of the UK's Gender Recognition Act 2004. And while the Scottish Government is able to pass legislation through Holyrood, it is still answerable to UK law, and under the devolution agreement they have certain limitations. This is expected to be tested in court and to lose. It must be confirmed that they will absolutely lose this case. But it's due to be tested in court, as the SNP ministers said they're prepared to challenge the ruling at a cost yet to be officially confirmed by the First Minister Hamza Yousaf. He's not saying how much it's going to cost, because he knows it's a lot, and they're going to lose. And he's not confirming or releasing what the legal advice on this matter was, because the legal advice says they're going to lose. He knows in advance they're going to lose, and he knows it's going to cost a lot of money. If he then proceeds and does this and costs money, he must personally be held responsible for that cost, and it must be retaken from him personally, because he's gone against the legal advice he's given. And that is the misuse of public funds. He will be personally liable for it, and I'd like to see him pay that. Because when that will be released, because it must eventually be released, that the legal advice, and it will show that they were told they can't possibly win. He's not doing it for the win. He's doing it for the optics, because he's got to keep the Greens on board. And they're probably delaying as long as possible to say, well, we're still going through the legal process to keep them on board as long as possible. But they will lose it. And at that point, it's misuse of public funds if he's gone ahead with a court case that he was told he cannot win, which is why he's not releasing the legal advice. Westminster debated adding clarity to the Equality Act 2010 at the start of June. However, Mr Dorrans did not attend, and in the letter made public by For Women Scotland, he said, "Regrettably, I'm able to contend, blah, blah, blah." This guy is an absolute moron. He works for this government. He says, oh, we're going to do this, and we're going to change this law. Why do you think your party is going to court, Mr Dornans? It's because you don't have the devolved power. If you were paying attention, you'd know that. But you can't possibly, because it requires a little bit of thought. Obviously something that is way, way beyond your intellectual capacity. And I'm coming up. Really is no wonder they get everything wrong. They don't even know what they're talking about on their own bills. The gender recognition bill. It's the SNP's own bill, and they're going to court because of the 2010 Equality Act. What you wonder what goes on between the ears of these people? Nothing. It's absolute silence in there. Honestly, you look in one ear, you see out the other end. You know, the wind whistles through their ears. There is nothing. It's just blank slate, isn't it? It's meat. That's all they've got in their head. They are utterly without any glimmer of hope or intelligence. And that is why Scotland is in the dire straits it's in. Because they keep coming up with all these bright ideas. And I use the word bright entirely wrongly. Oh, this'll work. Let's try this. God help us all. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you're seeing here on the channel, please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And especially leave a like, they really help. And until next time, stay safe, stay well. Do not forget what laws apply to you, and goodbye.